Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another MLP Cast. We'll be Michael Phoenix casting another game for a man by the name of illegaomonkeybutt, who apparently likes my casting, which is one positive. And so we've got another replay. This time, no techies, so it should be slightly easier for me to keep track of what's going on around a map. Let's quickly go through the draft because there's some kind of hilarious names going on down here. We've got Vaping My Way Downtown. I do vape myself, so I find that kind of hilarious. We've got Prosper on the PA. We've got Storm Spirit being played by the man himself, who calls himself Visual in the game. We've got Senor Cheesy Cake, who's been in every game that I've casted with Visual. Big fan of Senor Cheesy Cake. ¿Cómo estás? And we've got Royale with Cheese, which is a Pulp Fiction reference, I do believe. On the dire end, we've got Minxie on the Slark. We've got Tim Motherfucker on the Bloodseeker. We'll probably just call him Tim, just for the sake of not swearing every 2 seconds. We have Kawaii on the Timbersaw, which is a Japanese word for cute. We've got El Brian, who we'll call Brian because Brian's easy for an Australian to pronounce. And we've got, I don't know what that says, but we'll call him Invoker because I have no idea what his name says. It appears that the Timbersaw is going to be coming down, just scouting out what's going on. He's got a Timber Chain, so it appeared that he wanted to go for the Bounty Snipe, but apparently not quite brave enough to go for it. And the skill build of level 1 Timber Chain, and Visual, of course. Oh, this bloke. I love the psychological games this bloke plays, and of course I love commenting on how the psychology works. Quite funny. And everyone's disconnected. Ooh, that's not good. 3 people disconnect from the game. Apparently they didn't like what he said. And I believe they're probably part of a party. Not going to be surprised if they're on a LAN network. So we'll probably just wait it out for a second. What I was commenting on, quickly with the Timbersaw, he went Timber Chain level 1. I definitely disagree with the build. We'll see how it goes. But as an offlane Timber, you definitely want to get at the level 1 reactive armor. And at the very least level 2. Just so you can pretty much stay in lane. Abuse the creeps attacking you to get the charges up, to get the heal up and the armor up. But we'll see how he goes. Visual, he's gone the level 1 static remnant. Which is very standard, obviously very good for farming. Offers pretty good DPS, 140 that is. It's a very good level 1 nuke. And it does allow pretty good farmability and early kill potential if they dive onto you. On the top lane, we've got a PA and an Abaddon. So they're up against Minxie on the Slark. And PA, he's gone for level 1 dagger. Nothing surprising about that. And Abaddon goes for the shield. Again, nothing surprising about that. So that should work out fine for them. We'll have a quick look at the skill builds of the bot lane. Senor Cheesy Cake, he goes for the Mana Leak, which is, you have an option. You either go for the level 1 Illuminate, or you go for the level 1 Mana Leak. Mana Leak is absolutely fine, offers heaps of early game potential, and you can just keep draining his mana and then hitting him because he can't walk away, otherwise he's going to be left with no mana. So he's really got only one attempt to use the Shrine every like 5 minutes, and then he's just got no mana the whole laning phase. And AM Royale with Cheese himself, who we're probably just going to call Cheese for the sake of not having to say Royale with Cheese every time, has gone for the 1-2 build, which is pretty good. He'll probably get 1 in Spell Shield, maybe. Some people do that just for the extra security. We'll find out how that works. So Visual, he looks like he's in a bit of trouble actually, and now the EMP's coming up from the Invoker, and I think he's going to go down. In fact, he will. That's a good kill, but I'm not sure who's meant to be mid lane here. I haven't commented on this quite yet. In fact, I just noticed. Actually, top lane looks like Bloodseeker. Oh, he's on the neutrals. Never mind. Hopefully he won't die. We'll keep a quick look onto him. He's got to be careful here. He's going to go for the Shrine, which is the good thing to do. You don't want to die with all that gold in the bank. So what I was going to say is, I'm not sure if these two are fighting over the lane, or whether this is some new thing that they're trying to do. But I'm pretty sure they're fighting over the lane, because it makes no sense for a Tinker and an Invoker to be there. But at the very least, apparently they work together to get the first blood, which works. So probably should have checked whether these two were in a party or not. I guess I wasn't expecting them to be both in the same lane, in the mid lane. But that just means Visuals, even though he's died, he's always going to be ahead. In terms of farm and in terms of XP, he's always going to be winning this lane. unless they get him maybe 2 more times. Obviously, the first death is a big loss to him, but he'll be okay. Like, over time, he'll definitely win. Slark appears to be struggling. Prosper, he's being a pain with that dagger, with the dagger spam. A PA against a Slark isn't a big deal. Problem is when you add the Abaddon into the mix, who's going to be pulling the lane to the side and getting the creeps to go there, which is going to make the creep equilibrium go towards the PA. And as well as that, if PA is ever in trouble, he's going to have that aphotic shield onto him, and he's going to be probably fine. I don't think the Slark's going to be able to deal enough damage for a while to take out a PA with an aphotic shield and the evade. And look at Cheesy Cake. Look at the mana on Timbersaw. Kawaii, he has absolutely nothing left for him. And now he cops a bit of harass. He's only got a level 1 reactive armor, so he's been really kept out of lane by Senor Cheesy Cake, who's doing the right thing. You have to just continuously make sure this Timbersaw cannot be in XP range. Timbersaw cannot jungle. Well, anyone can jungle, but he can't jungle very well. So he's just got to sit in that lane, and this is going to be very depressing for him. He can obviously go get the bounty rune, and it'll help him out a bit. But a Timbersaw, even if they don't get good farm, they just need levels fast. And being a level 2 Timbersaw at 4.5 minutes on a solo offlane is not good. It's not very good at all. Tim, he's still struggling in the jungle. I never agree with, AFK junglers, to be honest. It can work, but I mean, this situation is just going to be painful for him. I mean, he can use the Blood Rage and hope he gets the last hit, which he's got to do perfectly now. He's got to have Blood Rage. Oh, oh, that's not what you want. That's not what you want to see from Bloodseeker. What he should have done, use Blood Rage on himself, and basically he had to have enough distance so when they turn around to go back to their spawn, then he goes for the last hit and heals himself up. Minxie, he's gonna get taken down here by a PA by himself. The Abaddon was there for the aphotic shield, but not even necessary. Just for the bit of tower harass that came at the end, and that's another good kill. Well, that's the first kill for the Radiant, but still. In fact, speaking of kills, Visual, he looks like he's in a bit of trouble. He's lost all his mana now, and there's the Cold Snap and the Cyclone, and he's definitely dead. So this mid lane's actually working, sort of. It's actually kind of working. I mean, Visual is at the top of the last hits for the mid lane. Very closely followed by Tinker, who's obviously being contested in farm by his Invoker colleague. But the kills will make up for it if they continue to do this, and Visual, obviously, they've been taking advantage of him while he isn't level 6. He's about to hit level 6, which means that he's going to be able to jump out of those situations unless the EMP hits him. Or he just makes the mistake of having no mana. So he should be okay next time around. But we'll find out. At least it's not as painful as what this Timbersaw is going through at the moment. Although he has caught up in a bit of levels, he's actually got his Soul Ring now as well. So he's not doing too badly anymore. Once he's got that Chakram up, he can start farming a bit with it, and he can harass the AM because it is pure damage, so the Spell Shield's not going to matter if he gets a level 1, which he's actually got level 2 in it. So he is going to be able to harass that Coddle back, and he's going to be able to harass the AM back a bit. But I mean, AM, he's got the blink. He'll be absolutely fine. The only way Timbersaw's going to be able to kill him is if AM makes a mistake in the lane, which he should be okay. I believe anyway. Kawaii though, he's come. He wants to go for another gank into Visual. He's got level 6, so as soon as he sees Kawaii come in, he should be able to just zip out straight away. That being said though, if that EMP hits him and he gets cold snapped enough times, he might be stuck in place because the level 1 ultimate for Storm Spirit, it has a very bad animation. There is the cold snap, but he uses it straight away. There should have been a Cyclone and an EMP, I believe, from the Invoker to hold him in place, and he has to time it perfectly with the EMP. He doesn't get it off though. Meanwhile, top lane, we've got Vaping My Way Downtown, chasing down Minxie. And Prosper's trying to follow. He's trying to get in range for the dagger, and he's very close. Now he gets it. And Vaping My Way Downtown, he should be able to just hit him for the Curse of Avernus. But he still gets the kill no matter what, because the shield would have exploded. And PA will get the kill, luckily. Now Kawaii's coming. This could be a good kill for Visual. In fact, it is. I'm not sure how he got himself in that position to get killed by a Storm Spirit at level 7 in the mid lane. But Kawaii overextends quite a bit, and he gives a very important kill away to Visual. And that's not going to mean too much good news for the dire end. And you can see the struggle here with the farm. But that being said, Tinker, he's got the Boots of Travel recipe, so he only needs the brown boots now. So apparently this Tinker's been out-hitting this Invoker. Outlast-hitting, I should say, this Invoker. And maybe the first blood and the second kill meant that he was getting a pretty big gold influx. In fact, we'll bring up the net worth quickly and see what's going on. So he is third in net worth, so he's doing fairly well for himself. Only beaten by the PA who's dominating the off lane, and the AM who's got absolutely free farm because of Senor Cheesy Cake. Mid lane looks like Vaping. He came downtown, and actually they're going to have a go on to Brian. And Brian, I think he's going to die here if he's not too careful, and he's got no way to escape. No, Vaping, he doesn't hit him for the last hit, and that's not going to mean too much good news. And Visual, he can't get in range. They'll have to go onto the Invoker now, but there's not enough mana left. So a bit of a mistake from Vaping down there. And it means they miss out on the kill. Meanwhile, bot lane, Senor Cheesy Cake, he has to back off from Kawaii a bit. But Kawaii, he has no mana left. He has got the Mango Soul Ring. In fact, Vaping, mid lane, he's going for another chase and they'll back off again. My goodness, the kills are starting to go out now. And you can see, I mean, Tim, he's about to spring into action, I think. He's hit level 6 now. And it's almost like a Legend Commander. Once you've hit level 6, it's time to get out of that jungle for a minute, make a kill happen, and then go back in. So, I think he should make that play on the Bloodseeker. But we'll see what he does. We're going to have to keep an eye out for him. You can see Minxie, he actually came bot lane, and he wanted to make a gank attempt with Kawaii, but it's not going to happen. And he's really struggled with farm Minxie. And I don't think it's the right play to come make a gank attempt. I think he really should be trying to just farm it out. And there's the Boots of Travel onto the Tinker. That's going to mean a big deal. Anytime the Boots of Travel comes on the Tinker, the game changes completely. You can see Minxie is coming through the back lines of the mid lane, and he's going to go for a gank onto Visual, who will be able to get away with that ultimate. Vaping my way downtown will probably be the easier target, but he's got level 6 now, so it's not even that easy. Minxie goes for a play, he doesn't make the pounce, and the Dark Pack makes it so the Vortex makes him get away. Now Invoker, they're actually going for a play onto Minxie. Sorry, not Minxie, Visual. And he'll walk away from it. He'll just he'll use that ball lightning and get out just fine. And now, the Radiant mid lane, they're out of mana. Visual, he'll back off for the time being. Just go heal up at the fountain. And looks like bot lane Kawaii, he's in trouble now. And he's got the mana drain on him, so he's almost out of mana. Now he's completely out of mana. That being said, I was going to say, Royale with Cheese, it was very low as well as Cheesy Cake, but the Mana Void takes care of business. And look at this, Tinker, he's coming in. The salve was used as soon as he saw the TP attempt. And the rocket won't hit, but Senor Cheesy Cake, oh, what a shame he gets taken out. I can't believe Brian actually saw him enough to get that rocket off. And now Visual, he comes in for a good gank and they'll take him out. And I've got to say, Storm Spirit is one of the ultimate counters to Tinker, because you can use that ball lightning when you see the TP attempt onto the creep. And as soon as he's on the creep, that means you can pretty much vortex him in and get the kill. And look at Prosper and Vaping mad. They're going for the courier. It's still not a flying courier at almost 12 minutes in. Luckily for them, they won't get there in time. But now Tim, he's in trouble. And he's used the Rupture, which is pure damage as well, I believe. In fact, it is. So the shield isn't going to really block it. Vaping my way downtown. He's going to have to go back from there. Now Minxie's joined in. Tinker actually DCs. And the Rupture lasts for a while, but he should be okay now to have a go. And they'll just back off because Minxie's there now. Just look at this bot lane though. Look at AM's farm. 5.4k now. He's at absolutely free farm this whole game. I don't know when that Battle Fury came in, but it looks like it would have came in around the 11-minute mark, and that's a very, very good timing for an AM. In fact, about 4 or 5 years ago when you used to watch Dota, it used to always be about the timing of the Battle Fury on the AM that would mean how the game went. There used to be even like little competitions online to see who could get the fastest Battle Fury. I believe Black was the fastest at the time. Royale with Cheese, he could be in trouble here. Kawaii's there, but he has got a level 4 blink available. He'll use it to get onto Brian. And with that mana drain that he's got, the mana break I should say, and actually Visual, he jumps in, but now AM, he wasn't there, now he is. And Royale with Cheese, he has the mana void again. And he'll get the kill, and Kawaii, he comes in, he chains in, he misses the Whirling Death, but he's got the Chakram now, he gets the AM kill, and the mana drain it will mean that he can't go anywhere. And that is so annoying, that mana leak. It's going to be the bane of his existence. Now, Invoker, he gets the kill into Visual with the Cyclone. That's a good kill, and Senor Cheesecake, he couldn't do anything about it, unfortunately. Vaping, he's in trouble now. Invoker's going to make the chase. He's got the Cold Snap available. Minxie, he's got a pounce attempt there, and he uses it now. He uses the Dark Pack, but the ultimate was used by Vaping, and they'll have to wait it out, but he's almost at full HP anyway. And there's the EMP, there's the Cold Snap as well, and the Urn from the Invoker, and this is a dead Abaddon. That's 2 kills. In fact, no, it was 3 kills, I think, for the way of the die towards the Radiant. AM did go down, but he respawned just before the kill onto Abaddon. But he still is at the top of the net worth, and he's followed by PA, so in terms of net worth, it still is very well going the way of the Radiant. Prosper farming very well himself. In fact, I think he has something coming out on the courier. What have we got here? 2 Mithril Hammers. So he's got the Desolator at 14 minutes. That's very fast Desolator for an offlane PA. Tim, he's in trouble. He gets jumped on by Visual, and the dagger comes out, and that's another kill for Visual, who's probably going to get a very fast Bloodstone, I'm assuming, if that's what he wants. Looks like he's still trying to get the treads. But I don't think he's going to have too much trouble getting a quick Bloodstone the way he's going at the moment. Or when I hear a Cold Snap, and there's an EMP as well, and it was used onto Prosper, but the Invoker does get taken out by Prosper, and that's a good kill. It was a killing spree taken from him. Royale with Cheese is going in for a gank. He's going to go for Brian, who's the best target to go for now. The laser was used, and he'll just TP away. He could go for a Mana Void here onto Brian, but he wants to get into Kawaii, but the fog's ruining it for him. Oh, and he blinks into the trees! Oh, Royale, that's not what you wanted to do. Now the TP attempt, and Vaping, he's not giving vision! Oh, no, and the laser from Brian, and he takes him out. Abaddon, he's going to be kicking himself for that. Now Cheese, he jumps back into the trees for safety this time. Not sure why, not so why Royale with Cheese has got 3 TPs in there, but I suppose why not? Why not? And now Brian, he TPs away, and this is going to continue happening until you stun this AM and disable that darn TP. Tim, he's got to be careful. Visual could TP here any moment. I think that might be him. In fact, no, it's actually Royale with Cheese who TPs in. Now, the Mana Leak comes out, and Tim, he can't go much further here. He's out of mana. He can't even Rupture anymore. And this is a definite kill onto Tim. Now, he uses the Blinding Light, but the Mana Void is used to confirm the kill. Invoker's there now as well. Going onto Visual, who does get taken out after the Soul Ring was used. And Invoker uses the Cyclone, and now Minxie, he's going to go for a chase onto the AM. No, he'll just leave him alone and start hitting the creep. And now Vaping, he's there as well, and he wants to go in. Minxie, he's thinking about it. He's got the ultimate available. The Mistcore was used. And it doesn't look like Vaping's going to get into enough range to try and slow them down. Oh, wait a minute, Invoker. I'm not sure why he did that, but he still might be able to walk away with those Wex, I apologize. With those Wex balls. And he uses the Ghost Walk. I don't think they have any True Sight available. Oh, the Invoker's there as well. He goes onto PA. Pross is going to be really careful now. A Cold Snap onto Vaping. But Vaping should be okay. But the rockets are still coming out from Invoker. And Cheesy Cake, he'll get taken out. Prosper, he jumps back in onto the Brian. And Brian, he actually gets taken out. That's a dominating streak for Prosper. Now he's been ruptured up. So this is really dangerous for him. He might get taken out. He needs a shield onto him. He does get taken out from Tim. And Tim, now he's going to go onto Vaping Mad and the Pounce. Sorry, not Vaping Mad. Vaping my way downtown. And Minxie, he'll latch on. And it's a double kill for Tim. Unbelievable. I just caught Abaddon Vaping Mad. I suppose it's a compliment if you think about it. And these kills, they're going all over the place, but that was another swing towards the Dire. In fact, in just a moment when it updates, we'll have a look at the gold swings on the graphs. Tim, he's going to push this tier 1, and I think he'll have no contention. He also has a Blade Mail, which we should. I mean, we know he has a Midas. But he also does have a Blade Mail now, which is a standard build. You rupture somebody and they stop running, so they're going to turn around and attack you. And then what you do is you use the Blade Mail and they can't attack you anymore because they're dealing damage to themselves. And then you type out why you're hitting yourself. And that's what you do with a Bloodseeker, and that's what he's done. Invoker, he looks like he's going for the Orchid Malevolence. And he's very close to getting it. I believe he just needs the recipe now, which is about 350 gold away. We can see Royale with Cheese. He's going to find Tim now. And Tim, he's got to back off here. He's got the Rupture available if need be, and I don't think Cheese is actually going to go for it. Senor Cheesy Cake, though, this man, he loves mana leaking people. And he's got it off now, and the dagger comes out from Prosper. And I think Tim's in trouble. The EMP is there, though, and the cold snap onto Prosper. And Prosper has no mana left, so there's going to be no more daggers. And now there's a Tinker that's come out. Mana Void attempted to be used, but it was actually cancelled by the fog. And he Mana Void's Invoker for the area of effect, but doesn't actually kill Tim. And in the back lines, we can see Brian. He's actually just dealing a hell of a lot of damage out with the rockets and the laser, who get the kill into Prosper. Tim's still okay for the time being, and is being healed up by the urn. And that's another good rotation by the Dire. And so the aggression from the Radiant not really paying off at the moment, unfortunately. Can see Visual. I'm pretty sure he's trying for that Bloodstone. In fact, he's going to go in front of the gank, and that's a good gank onto Mixie. And he's going to have to try and find him. He's got the Bloodstone. He's got the Soul Ring still, and he does miss. It's a good little juke from Mixie. He would have gotten killed if he ran the proper way. And I'm not sure what Tim's doing, but he gets taken out by neutral creeps. Did he have gold? Yes, I believe he did at the time of the death, so he did lose some gold. EMP onto Visual. He has no mana left anyway, and I think he might be dead here. Now the Cold Snap out from Invoker, and Kawaii's there as well. And now the Deafening Blast, and Visual has no chance there. And like I said, these rotations are not working out. Visual, he wasn't carrying a TP scroll on him, and that ultimately made him so he died. So because he essentially, once he missed the kill onto Minxie, he should just TP'd straight out. Now let's bring up that gold graph that I promised about 2 minutes ago. 4k in the way of the Dire. These kills aren't working out for them at the moment. So Radiant, they have to come up with another game plan. And the XP graph, definitely in the way of the Dire. You can see Invoker feeling very confident at the moment, just running around the Ghost Walk. And he's got the Cold Snap available. And he's looking for a gank attempt. And who's it going to be on? It's on Senor Cheesecake, who's using the Illuminate. And he's actually got the Orchid as well. And there's the EMP as well. There's no way Senor Cheesecake's going to survive this. But Visual's here. They get a very good counter gank. And they're going to go on to Minxie now, they've got Dust now, so he won't be able to get away. He has to use his ultimate, but he's got no mana because he uses the Shadow Blade. And he gets taken out now. And you've got to be quick with that ultimate, because you've got an AM and you've got a Coddle who can drain that mana. And Royale with Cheese, with that mana break, he was able to drain enough mana to make sure that Slark couldn't use the ultimate, the Shadow Dance. And you gotta remember, that's 52 mana burnt per hit, and AM has a very good attack animation. And Brian, he's got to be careful here as well, because if Visual wants, he can make a big jump. No, in fact, he doesn't have enough mana, but maybe with the Soul Ring, he could. And they might actually find him here. Once they see those marches, they could go for a blind zip. But now they won't. But they'll get the tier 2 regardless, which is what they came for. So at the end of the day, they're still winning that rotation. And you can see Brian, he's been struggling a bit because he didn't max the march first. He went for the rocket and the laser. Generally, what you want to do is you either want to max laser and max the march, or you want to max laser and max the rockets. He chose the laser rockets at the start, and now he's kind of paying for it because he got a fast boots travel. And in mid lane, I think Visual is going down here because of the science. The Cyclone somehow misses, but it actually got Senor Cheesecake, so maybe that was on purpose. But they won't be able to chase it up, and I'm not sure what Minxie was doing, but it didn't even hit anyone. And Prosper, he's farming Ancients at the moment, but I think the Invoker might find him. There's the dagger out, so he should know now. And Tim, he actually takes out Royale with Cheese in the back lines. Prosper, he's going to get ganked here by Kawaii and Invoker, and I think he's dead here. The evade is paying off, though. Now Vaping, he puts a shield on, and they use the Shrine. He's going to turn this around onto Invoker. Tim, he's using the Blade Mail to try and stop him from hitting himself. And the Invoker, he uses the EMP. There's the ultimate from Abaddon. Brian's here as well, throwing out rockets. Going to throw out rockets very soon. He throws out another bunch of rockets. PA does get taken out. And that's actually 4 dead for the side of the Radiant. Another great rotation. That's a double kill for the Invoker. And meanwhile, Minxie's just farming, catching up from that terrible laning phase. And he has sort of caught up because he's got a Shadow Blade and the Aquila, as well as the Brown Boots. And he's probably going to be going for a Basher next. In fact, he might be just going for a quick gank here. He picks up the bounty. Not sure if Royale with Cheese saw that. Now he gets hit up by Minxie, but he'll be able to blink away no problem anyway. That being said, Tim's here and he can't blink out of a Rupture. And now Kawaii, he's going to take the kill with the Chakram. There was no way he was getting out. This is the beauty of the Bloodseeker, is that AM can't blink away. And because it's pure damage, even if he gets a BKB, he still can't blink away because the damage will go through the BKB. Not to mention Bloodseeker also has a silence. Visual. He takes out Tinker in the back lines at the top lane. You can see Invoker, he'll jump onto Coddle, so I think soon your Cheesy Cake might be getting taken down. In fact, Minxie will finish the job off. And the kill actually goes to Invoker. Now Prosper, he wants to get a return kill, but he's got no mana because of that EMP. And they'll have to back off here because the Dire, they're in too much of a strong position. At the very least, they need Visual there to help them out. And he took care of Tinker, which is probably a higher priority kill than any of the ones at the bot lane at the moment anyway. You can see here. He is going for that Bloodstone. It is a pretty late Bloodstone, unfortunately, for the Storm Spirit. If he can get it before 30 minutes, it should be okay. And I think he will get there. He might even get it in the next 3 to 4 minutes. Tim. He gets crit by the dagger, probably hoping to himself, wishing to himself he used the blade mail. You can see he is going for the Sergeant Yasha. So that's the race car build on the Bloodseeker. You just want to make him as fast as possible because he's got unlimited potential as a Bloodseeker. In terms of movement speed anyway. But Prosper's looking for him. And he'll throw the dagger out. There's the slow. And he's got the shield on him as well. And Visual, he'll join. And look at the crit. He didn't even get the blade mail off in time. And he just got crit to the next dimension, really. He's out of the game at the moment. Just got deleted. And Minxie, he'll look for an attempt onto somebody. He probably wants to go onto Prosper, but that evade's going to be a pain without the silver edge. They'll find Prosper. Kawaii's there with the pure damage, but he's turned around, and Minxie, he actually gets taken out here. Didn't use the Shadow Dance. Vaping's there as well to heal him up and use the shield if necessary. Meanwhile, looks like Invoker's going to go for a play onto Royale, and I think this is going to be bad for aim because he's been silenced up. Kawaii, he's still being chased up. Cheese, he does get taken out in the back lines, and they do take out Kawaii though, and that is a killing spree given away to Prosper. 3 down for the way of the Dire. And so definitely worth it for the Radiant, which will be a big gold swing for them. We'll have a look in about a minute. Prosper will also be chasing for that tier 1, and he should continue attacking. Brian, he comes in to defend, but now that tower's in deny range. And that's not what you want to do, but the catapult, no, he used the laser for it, but he doesn't actually deny the tower. He's not denying the tower. Oh no. That's a big misplay. He lasered the catapult to stop it from attacking it, which was a good play. But then you gotta A-click the tower to deny it. It would have only taken 1, maybe 2 hits. That's a lot of gold not given to the way of the Radiant. Now they're going to go into Visual. And speaking of gold, this will be a big gold swing again. And with that silence burst at the end, this Invoker, even though he had a dual lane mid, he seems to be dominating. And he's loving it at the moment, this bloke. And he's kind of rotated. He went for the max Wex just to be able to drain all the mana, which is very useful when you're versing a Storm Spirit, an AM, a PA. Any of these heroes, once you drain their mana, become absolutely useless. Unless they can get right next to you, which is why they need their mana. Then you add the silence on top of that, and the AM needs a BKB or a Manta. And he's got the Manta now. But if he uses it before the silence comes out, then he's in massive trouble. So he may want to also get a BKB. But then again, with the BKB, you don't want to waste the damage item slot. So that's why you pick up the Manta, because it offers more in terms of pushing capability anyway. Invoker, he'll find Senor Cheesy Cake. And Cheesy Cake, you're going down, my friend. And Visual, he's gonna TP into a Ward of Hurt right now. And he's trying to man fight this, but I don't think this is the play. And Cyclone comes out as well as the Urn Charge from the Invoker. Deafening Blast barely misses though, and he actually gets out. No, the Invoker does kill him with the Urn Charge, but PA is there and he's man fighting Tim. He's been ruptured up, and the Blade Mail is stopping him. He's actually got an Abyssal Blade somehow, and the Vladimir's as well from Vaping helping out, but he still gets taken out from the Tinker. And looks like Tim, he'll just actually chase up Vaping and take care of business. Meanwhile, top lane, Kawaii, he's going to find Royale with Cheese, but Royale, he'll have no problem backing off here. In fact, no, he'll turn this around. No, he'll back off. He doesn't want to go for it. And the Timbersaw does have Bloodstone as well, so it does make it harder to kill him because the regen kind of goes a bit crazy. We'll have a look at the gold swings at the moment, and it's gone 6 grand the way of the Dire. In fact, Tim, he's in a bit of trouble here, but he has got... Oh no, he doesn't have the Rupture. It's down for 14 seconds. And he wants to go use that Midas as well. He still hasn't used it. No, he will use it. And Brian pushing, well, not pushing. He's actually just farming from some neutral creeps. This is one of those things you do like to do when on the Tinker. When you've pushed out the lanes as much as you can, and you know that where all the opposing heroes are, you wanna start taking all their ancient, all their neutrals and ancients, really, just any creeps they have. You're just taking away from their potential economy. And he's gone for the Dagon build as well. So, and this is purely to be able to take out this PA who's not going to be able to be hit by any physical attacks, really, with that evade, which is max now as well. So blue has 50% evade, a lot of right click on the Dire side, so he's gonna have to take care of Prosper every team fight. Kawaii being a bit cheeky with the Chakram, but he'll just have to back off. He's actually got a Blade Mail himself now as well, which is pretty good on the Timbersaw. Now the Blade Mail actually reflects the damage before any of the armor or magical defense kicks in. So you'll be dealing more damage to them with their attacks than they deal to you. Invoker's there in the back line, so they've got to be careful. Prosper, he jumps onto Kawaii, and PA is relatively good against Timber because the reactive armor, if you crit him a couple times early, it's not going to matter too much. Now the silence comes out from Invoker, but that evade is paying off, and now the Vladimir's from Vaping is going to allow him to heal up a bit, and they're going to make the chase. It's only Vaping that's chasing, and he'll have to back off because he's on his lonesome at the moment. Now, the rest of the Dire heroes are there, and they're going to back off. No, they're deciding to come back in. The Ice Wall was placed just in case they were being chased. And they might even go for a play on Visual, who's losing a lot of mana. Now the Rupture's out, and I think he's dead here. No, Senor Cheesy Cake, he throws the Blinding Light out. No, he's definitely dead. There's no way he's going to survive this. And the Dagon comes out for the first time for good measure. And you can see Minxie and Evoker. Oh, they're going to find the Courier. It's got a Windlace on it, and they're going to definitely take this out. No, they don't take it out. They leave it. Invoker will take it out, but the Windlace is already given to Senor Cheesy Cake. And they find Vaping mad, and unfortunately he got in front of them when the pounce came out. They still take out Senor Cheesy Cake, but Vaping, now he's got to back off. He hasn't got the ultimate left, and I think he's 100% dead here. In fact, he is. And Royale with Cheese, he's going to have to get the hell out of there. And luckily there was no Rupture available. Otherwise, he may have been dead himself. And he'll TP out, as well as Prosper. And Visual, he does have the Bloodstone, but he lost a lot of charges. He's only got 8 left. And you can see the lane's really starting to be pressured by Brian on the Tinker. And this is what Tinkers do. They never let you push your lane out, ever. That being said, allow me to introduce you to a man by the name of Keeper of the Light. Senor Cheesy Cake. So when you've got the push and the defense from Tinker, this is your push and the defense from the Radiant end. This is Senor Cheesy Cake. Minxie actually gets caught out by Cheese. And Mana Void straight to the face. And it doesn't feel good. And so what I was trying to say is, before Royale with Cheese took care of some business, in fact, I better keep my mouth shut for just a second because I think Tim's about to get to some revenge. He's picked up a Radiance as well, which is a good little thing with Bloodseeker because he can run so fast. He can keep chasing them. The Radiance, at the very least, allows some burn to happen while you're making the chase, and makes you faster because they're going lower in health, and the Thirst will continue to make you faster while they're lowering in health. So it's a bit of a cheeky little thing you can do with Bloodseeker. Royale Cheese, he gets ruptured up. He's got teammates next to him, though, at the back line, so they're going to help out. Another Sunstrike, it was coming out. He does take out Royale with Cheese, uses the Blade Mail. Prosper, he's got to be careful, but now Visual's there. They'll get the kill. And I'm not sure what was more worth it. In fact, it looks like the Radiant got a lot more out of that than the Dire did. So, at the end of the day, the Bloodseeker was worth a lot more than that AM at that point, and I'm not sure why the hero levels are up. And now AM, he's at the top of the net worth again. And you can see Senor Cheesy Cake. He's starting that push out. And Visual, he's doing what he needs to do. He finds heroes when he can. And Invoker is a bit too tanky. In fact, look at that. The Monkey King Bar on an Invoker. That's a very quick Monkey King Bar, even though it's 30 minutes into the game. And it's going to mean a lot of trouble for PA, who has got an Abyssal, has got a Deso, and has got the Phase Boots, and he's going to be going for a Heart of Tarrasque-esque. Oh, there's a big fight at bot. Looks like Invoker, he was trying to make a plan to Senor Cheesy Cake, but it's not going to matter because he gets taken out. Prospect gets a big kill onto him, and now Kawaii, that's a big crit, and it's a big slow, and there's a TP in onto the tower, onto the shrine, I should say. Royale with Cheese, he'll keep the vision, and I don't think Kawaii is going to be able to back off too much. No, they'll actually let him go, and Minxie was there in the backlines to help out if necessary, but I'm surprised they let him go. Because they were pretty grouped up together, so I feel like AM could have made the play. And look at this, Senor. The man's going to have to be doing this all game. TPing back to base 24/7. Royale, who'll find Kawaii with vaping. They should be able to make this kill, I think. They can't use the Mana Void quite yet because it won't guarantee the kill, and that's what I meant. His mana's too high. They should have just kept hitting one or two more times. And the miscoil... Oh, that's a bit of a shame. See, I can't remember correctly, but I think miscoil used to be pure damage, but it used to be lower damage. I think. I mean, I'm a very, very old school player. I'm talking over 10 years, so, you know, excuse my old man memories. But that would have meant a kill if it was pure. Vaping, he'll find Tim Tim, and I think this means a lot of bad business for Vaping. That being said, his teammate comes in, and Visual doesn't want to get silenced up, so he's going to back off, and I think they might just let Tim Tim go. Prosper. He can go for a kill. He wants to get Brian, but Brian, he's hard. He blinks out and he TPs straight away. The way to kill Tinker as a PA is as soon as you see him, you got to get that dagger out. Cancel the blink attempt and jump straight in. Do not let him blink out. Invoker, though, he won't be as lucky. He doesn't have a way to blink out, but he has the Ghost Walk. There's no gem yet either, so they won't be able to find him. Royale with Cheese, he knows someone's behind him, so he blinks straight out. The die, they want to push this lane and maybe get a team fight going. Not sure what happened to the bot lane. Looks like Visual went for a play onto Tinker, and he actually gets taken out by the Tinker. And there's a Rupture, and it's gone straight onto the PA, who tries to TP out, but he gets Cold Snap, and he's dead 100%. Mana Void from Royale with Cheese, though. He takes up the Invoker. Unfortunately, he was on his lonesome, so he won't get the AoE effect. And Royale, he'll just back off, but Tim Tim, he's not going to stop chasing. Miscoil on Shield, it comes out from Vaping to keep him protected. And the Silence comes out from the Bloodseeker, but doesn't matter. They still got 2 massive kills, though. And what you've got to remember is every time you kill Storm Spirit, you take away from him because of those Bloodstone charges. Storm Spirit doesn't want to be sitting there with 6 Bloodstone charges. He wants 20 plus to be able to continue going around the map non-stop. So this isn't what you want. You're also taking away from his farm. He's trying his best to get this Yules, but it is very delayed. Visual, he'll go for a kill onto Tim. The Blade Mail is used again, and he might actually get killed off. He's copying so much damage, but they get the kill onto Tim. Now Kawaii, he's in big trouble, and he's being slowed up pretty hard. Minxie, he doesn't know what he's doing here. He doesn't know what he wants to go for. He's hesitated way too long. He goes for Senor Cheesy Cake. He'll get the kill, but now we have to back off. And actually, Kawaii, that reactive armor kicked in, and it saved him there. And that was pretty lucky. I think Minxie was a bit late. He probably could have gone for a higher priority kill, but at the very least, he still gets Senor Cheesy Cake, and that's still a kill at the end of the day. That's better than no kill. Can see Royale, he's got a Basher now as well. With that attack animation, considering how fast an AM attacks, Bash is a necessary because you just have a higher chance of bashing people than other people do. And of course you got a Manta style. Brian, he throws the March out. Royale, he could find him. Now he uses the dagger. But Royale, he won't go for the play. Because of the laser, you got to be careful. It's pure damage and it will blind you. And even though you have the Manta, the laser's just going to come out a second later with that rearm. Invoker now, he's got the silence, so he wants to go for a play. And he's got the MKB, and it's big damage. Oh, and they're going to go for a play here. The Cold Snap was used as well, and he did use the Manta, but it's too late. It's just too late. He couldn't get the blink off because the Deafening Blast was used, and the drag back was too long. It'd be interesting to see as well whether Invoker goes for the AoE Deafening Blast or the 18-second Tornado cooldown. Personally, I think the 18-second Tornado cooldown, the minus 18 seconds, I should say, is way more worth it. Unless you have a team full of hero an opposing team full of heroes that are just right clickers, which is sort of the case, but you have a 12-second tornado. That's kind of insane. You continue to cast that every 12 seconds. It's just crazy. Vaping. He goes for an Echo Saber. Interesting build. Not too sure. Generally, as an Abaddon, you want to just go for auras, and he did the right thing by going for a Vladimir's. But you'd think he would start going towards something like an Assault Cuirass. You know, obviously he's not going to go for that right now. Maybe we'll see Prosper go for it instead, but he'll be going for the heart, so I'm not too sure about this. The heart is perfectly fine on the PA. There's no problems there. But I just feel like the Echo Saber is maybe a wasted item slot and a bunch of wasted gold on the Abaddon. Oh, there's a zip in from visual, but it was just onto the creeps. And you can see they're actually going for the Roshan. And this will be an easy Rosh. There'll be no contention. See Bloodseeker. He's got a BKB coming out next, just to negate a lot of that damage coming out from the Storm Spirit, even from the Coddle. The Mana Leak is annoying as hell. And the AM, when the Mana Void comes out, you don't want to cop some of that damage. Interestingly enough, Minxie, he's going for what looks like a Moon Shard. Now, the thing with Moon Shard is, it's a very good item on a Slark. Very good. But it's the last item you get. There's bigger items to get than a Moon Shard. I don't agree with the decision from Minxie. However, he could prove me wrong. Obviously, it allows you to stack Essence Shifts a lot faster, but I don't feel like that's the play. Tim, he's going to start hitting up on this tier 2, but he gets jumped on by Visual, and he uses the Blade Mail, but I think he'll get taken out, but he does have the Aegis. And now they surround him. That being said, Invoker and Kawaii, they're there. Tim, he's going to back out of there and use the Silence, and I think Abaddon, he might be in big trouble here. And look at Minxie, he's trying to man fight here through all this onto the PA with the Silver's Edge. Uses the Shadow Blade, but won't get the kill regardless. Everyone backs off just fine. They're going to be fine. They can go to the tower, go to the fountain and heal up. The tier 2 is still taking out though. So the Radiant does lose at the end of the day. And as you can see, nobody died. If they can get a few follow-up kills here, then that would make a world of difference to the fact that they just lost a tier 2 tower. But I don't think they want to go for the Incept. In fact, it looks like the Dire, they're going to be ones that are pushing the tier 3. Oh, and Kawaii, he goes straight onto Vaping, and a lot of damage is coming out. In fact, he still does have his ultimate available. Tim, he runs in, he uses his ultimate. Vaping, forced to use the ultimate though. Royale, he does take out the Bloodseeker. Now Minxie, he gets taken out with the Mana Void. Kawaii, he's in trouble now, and I think he might get taken out as well. This is a massive mistake from the Dire, I think. And the Mana Leak, look at that, all the mana's gone. That being said, Aghanim Scepter onto the Tinker. He takes out Abaddon and the Storm Spirit, and this is going to be really hard with that bouncing laser. They take out the PA as well. Brian's making a world of difference in this team fight. And I think although the Dire are going to get the hell out of here, because they forced out the buyback from the Abaddon anyway, I mean, the Gold Swing still favors the Radiant. But my goodness, that was going to go so much worse if Brian didn't have that Aghanim Scepter. And we didn't even notice that throughout the game. But he just picked it up. And it's not even about the 4 rockets that can come out. It's simply that laser that bounces with 100% miss effect for 4.5 seconds. So you could Manta out of that. Then he's just going to chuck another one out a second later. In fact, they're going to find the Coddle. Senor Cheesy Cake. He might get taken down here. He's trying his best to run away, but Brian, he's not going to allow that to happen. Visual, he jumps in, but he's going to be in a world of hurt here. There's 3 heroes. He still has mana, but now he's been silenced up. He uses it off. He's got to get out of there before the Cold Snap, and he will do so. And look at Kawaii. He also has an Octarine Core. 19 Bloodstone charges. That's a lot of Bloodstone charges. It offers so much more heal, so much more mana regen. And you combine that with the reactive armor, and it means very bad things for the opposing team. Brian, he's going to be stunned up. No, I think the Abyssal Blade was used onto the creeper, unfortunately. The Mana Void barely doesn't kill Brian, and he's going to be able to blink away here. And I'm not sure if he's going to get away with this. No, he TPs into the trees, and actually he cancels the... he doesn't make the TP yet. Now he'll make it. He gets out, and they're going to find the AM. That's a massive mistake from Royale with Cheese. He's going to try and hold off with that Mana Void until the Ghost Scepter is used, and I think he might have just used it before that, and bit of a shame. That being said, Kawaii, he gets ganked up by the Radiant, overextending quite a bit. And it's okay. They're still holding on. We'll have a look at the gold swings here. And, I mean, that doesn't look very good for the dire side. But I do believe they can turn this around. We'll talk about win conditions in just a second. You can see the XP graph. It will turn around soon because the dire heroes will be maxing out in levels. In fact, we'll have a quick look. Yeah, everyone's pretty much over level 20 except Senior Cheesy Cake, which is to be expected because he's a position 5 Coddle. But still, things aren't looking too good for the Radiant. Let's talk win conditions though. What they have to do. There's a couple win conditions. Number one, they win a massive team fight, get a couple Raxes. That's very obvious. So apologies if that's too obvious. Number two, they push one lane. They let the AM get farmed enough and push another lane. And they just rat it out. That's the other option. And number three, they can out farm the Dire because they have got the better late game lineup with the PA, the Storm, and the AM. So you can do that. You have got a Coddle to allow you to go to the late game, and you can go as late as you want with the Coddle as long as the Coddle doesn't die in base. So there's 3 win conditions, I believe. The 3 main ones I've just listed for you guys. See Tim, he picked up the BKB. He's going to be going for a Heart of Trust next. There's a line being drawn out. They're saying, let's get to the bot lane. Let's make this Rax happen. The tier 3 is half HP now. And they're pretty unsure at the moment. The reason is, I think, and they're pinging it out, Minxie, he's not with the team at the moment. Dota is a 5-player game. It doesn't matter what carry, what support you are. You should really be sticking with your team when they're telling you to let's go get a Rax. And it is the carry of all things. Oh, visual. He goes for a jump onto Tim before the Blade Mail is able to be used, and I think they might just take him out. In fact, they do straight away with the Mana Void. Now the Deafening Blast. It is the AoE one as well, and there's no kills coming out from the Dive to the Radiant at the moment. Abaddon, he jumps in. He's in a bit of trouble here, and he'll be able to use his ultimate and heal up anyway. In fact, he's running through the Chaos Meteor to get healed up, which is pretty clever. And that's a good kill, and I think the Dive, they'll be forced to get out of there now. In fact, visual. If he's healed his mana up long enough, he might go for a jump in. And if I was him, I'd be going straight to that fountain, healing up that mana and trying to make a jump if they continue to stay around. And there was just no commitment, I feel, and that's what I meant. Visual, he makes the play. They've got no Duster at the moment. That's a big error. That's a big mistake. 45 minutes into the game, you guys are gonna need some true sight. So the Radiant, I mean, look. They've made a mistake. They're probably going to learn from it and pick up some true sight now. 45 minutes, probably a good time to pick up a gem as well. Start de-warding around the map. Didn't notice, but Brian, he gets taken out by a Royale with cheese. That's a good kill, and I haven't mentioned it quite yet. In fact, I'll just wait a second because it looks like Minxie's going to find Abaddon. And Vaping, he's going to try his hardest to survive. He still has the ultimate as well. And look at this, visual, he jumps in, and this could mean a lot of trouble for Minxie, who was silenced up as well. Didn't use the Dark Pact in time, and that was it. He just couldn't survive that. Coddle, he'll pull the Abaddon back in right next to him. And we'll continue on. This is what you need, though. This is the little pickoffs you need, the good little team fights, and you start making the pushes. So Tinker, he gets taken out by the AM. Then Minxie, he gets taken out by Visual on the Storm Spirit. And then that's it. Then tier 2's gone. If the tier 2 wasn't there, the tier 3 would be gone. In fact, they may make the push and try to force buyback that doesn't even exist for the Tinker or the Slark, which is another massive mistake in the way of the Dire. They fortified the tower. I'm not sure about this because now if the Radiant want to push the tier 3, they can do so, and it doesn't look like they will. But they definitely had the opportunity there, I feel. And they're gonna go for a play onto Royale with cheese, but he has the Aghanims. And that's what I was about to say to you a minute ago. Aghanim Scepter AM is a legit thing. It's a Lotus Orb and a Lincoln Sphere put into one item. You can't say no to those stats either. And with the amount of spells coming out onto AM at the moment, with the Rupture, which is going to be funny when it gets sent back to the Bloodseeker, with the Cold Snap, with the Laser, you know, I mean, the bouncing laser, if it bounces from another hero, it won't matter. But if you aim the AM with the laser, it's going to bounce straight back to your team. And I'm not sure, actually, if it will take the Aghanim's effect and bounce. So we'll find out very soon. But there's going to be some interesting things that happen within AM Aghanims. Vaping. He's getting attacked by Kawaii here. He has got that ultimate again. Very low cooldown. In fact, he does use it. And I hear Prosper throwing daggers out. He just threw a cheeky one out to the timber and decides to back off. Generally, with a PA, if you're thinking about whether you should jump in for a kill, you think to yourself, I'll throw a dagger. If it crits, I'm jumping in. If it doesn't, I'm not jumping in. That's the general way you decide if you're unsure, if you want to go for a kill or not. And Prosper does have the Heart of Trask now as well. So he's a very tanky PA. 3.5k health just about. And that level 25 talent, the double strike stiffening dagger, big deal, because if you crit with that dagger, it's going to be 2 crits, and that's a very big deal. Vaping, he's going to get caught out. Minxie's there as well, and I think he has no chance here. The Sunstrike just to finish things off. And I don't even think he had his ultimate up. In fact, he does now, but he may not have at that time. And Royale, he wants to go for a counterplay here. He's leading the charge. In fact, Senor Cheesecake, he has to be careful because he was 2 in front at the moment. Visual, he'll jump straight in. Now he's lost all his mana, or half of it at least, and he's going to have to back off. Look at the rockets coming out. And they're going to keep chasing. Minxie, he's looking for the pounce attempt. Meanwhile, bot lane, Prosper, he has to be careful himself. And you can see the Tinker, he'll be going through it for an Ethereal Blade. And he's getting fairly close to it. And people are just going to pop pretty fast when he uses it. And Kawaii, he's been mana leaked up so he can't walk away. Now he uses the Shivers Guard. EMP doesn't hit anyone. Silence from the Bloodseeker. So Tim, he's trying to make something happen. Look at the crit. Half HP gone on Tim just from a dagger. And now there might be a tier 3 attempt. The mana leak is so annoying though on Kawaii. And the stun from Prosper with the dagger. Oh, and the blinding light. That's a good blinding light onto the uphill. They're still not going onto him. No visual. He'll go on the backlines, try to get Invoker. But now he's in trouble. He'll use away. And I think he might be okay. No, he'll get taken out. Prosper, he's going after the Invoker. Kawaii, he's got no mana left. Tim, he's going after this PA still. And PA, he has no one to blink to. And nobody's there to help him out. Minxie, he's going to keep chasing this PA. No, he'll blink to the Royale. Royale, now he'll jump on. Now there's a Rupture out. And BS, he'll kill himself with the Aghanim Scepter AM. And that's pretty funny. Kawaii, he'll get attacked up. He has no mana left. And actually, he gets just enough mana for the chain. And oh, the Mana Void. The Mana Void from the AM. Oh my goodness. This is getting exciting. And let me tell you, and Prosper, he was trying to look for the Tinker, mind you, just pinging it out. But let me tell you, when you're an AM, you've got an Aghanim Scepter, and a Bloodseeker ulties you, doesn't realize, blood spurting out everywhere on top of his hero, thinks it's a normal animation, then kills himself because he ruptured himself. There is literally nothing more satisfying in the game. Nothing. And I know Royale with Cheese literally just, he just got excited in the pants, I think. Royale, he's going to get caught up though. Invoker and Minxie are there. They're going to go on to PA though. And PA, as I said, very tanky. And he'll jump straight onto Invoker. That's the smart choice. Don't go after Minxie. Now, he does take that Invoker. Brian is there though. And the lasers are coming out. But now he's been bashed up. And that's the Mana Void you want to use. Wait for the Ethereal Blade. Use the Mana Void. Get the extra damage in there. Minxie, I don't know if you could go for this. And he'll just walk past them. Get back into position. See if he can defend by himself. Which I don't think he can. In fact, easy is the call out. There are buybacks available. At the very least, they could force one out of the Invoker. That being said, Timber is there, and you can see the top lane. We see Visual. He's split pushing this. Timbersaw, he's actually being chased down by Vaping, and they might even go for a kill onto Kawaii. No, they'll leave him alone. Vaping, he just picks up a bounty. Prosper, he's by himself, and he'll get taken out. So they kind of abandoned him, and I don't know if he noticed. Went for a solo kill. Got himself killed, and now they can't go for the push, and they don't want to buy back and push because he's not going to be there in time. That's a big kill. A lot of gold goes the way of the Dire, and a lot of gold gets taken away from the Radiant. And a bit of an error, a bit of a mistake from the PA. Minxie, what are we going for here? I think he's getting a Lincoln Sphere. Yeah, he will be. So he wants to block some of that spell, some of those spells coming out. I understand. So I was about to say probably go for the BKB instead. But what you want to do is when the Rupture comes out, the BKB won't stop it. So at least with the Lincolns, maybe if you're lucky, he'll use it first and you'll block that Rupture. And he's not going to be blocking. He's not going to be rupturing the AM any longer. I think he might have learned his lesson there on the Bloodseeker. See, Minxie got the Basher now. Now he's going for an Eye of Skadi. This is what I was saying. The Moon Shard, it's a very good item, but it's very late game orientated. He should have gone for the Eye of Skadi early, I feel. Like, definitely before the Moon Shard. And look at this. Royale, he'll jump on. Now he's been lasered up. A visual, he'll just come and take him out. Brian, he's there. And they're going to go look for him. And he blinks away. And are they going to find him? No, he TP's out just in time. And now they're picking up the Roshan. And I think it was actually Tim that was pinging it out, saying, let's go before the Radiant decide to do so. And you think about this. If he had the Eye of Skadi, he would have been a lot tankier than if he had the Moon Shard. He might have given himself an opportunity to Shadow Dance or Silver's Edge away. And he didn't give himself that opportunity because he had a Moon Shard. Vaping, he's in a bit of trouble. Kawaii, he deals a lot of pure damage, but Visual's there with the silence. And the Mana Leak comes out now. The Illuminate and the Blinding Light. The Shivers is there, but it's not going to mean too much. And I think he's dead. In fact, oh, the Mana Void. My goodness. And they're pinging him out saying, be bloody careful with that Mana Void when the guy's Lotus Orbed up. Because he almost killed Vaping and himself by Mana Voiding, and it got returned back to him with the Lotus Orb. It's just lucky the AM didn't have too low of a mana. Otherwise, might have meant 3 heroes dead. In fact, how much damage is he dealing? 1.1 damage per mana loss. So, if he dealt that to himself, that's about 1.1, 1.2k worth of damage that'll come back the way of his team. So he's going to be slightly careful with that. Because I believe it is based off his own mana. If it was based off the Timbersaw's mana, then that's an even bigger problem because that's over 3k damage. But that's why it's so effective against the Timber, because you add the Mana Leak, you add the Mana Break from the AM, and that's good night Irene for the Timbersaw. So Aegis goes the way of Visual. Storm Spirit, very good Aegis carrier. He respawns after the Aegis with full mana, full health, and he's able to get himself out if need be. Now we can see MKB picked up by Prosper. He's got 4 TPs. This man, he wants to be around the map as much as he can. My recommendation in a PA for this kind of game, any game for a PA really requires a BKB. But when you've got this many spellcasters, I know there's pure damage from the Rupture and the Timbersaw and things like that. But the BKB is still necessary on Prosper. He's gone for the tankier style build with the Heart of Tarask to rather be able to tank the damage even if it comes in. But I feel like the BKB, it's gonna help him out a lot in these team fights. We'll see what he does though, because his team is doing fairly well at the moment anyway. So they're on the aggression now. It's not like you need the BKB for defensive purposes anymore anyway. But in a big team fight, you know, it could be very helpful. They're going for the mid tower now. And they're kind of thinking about they'll bring Prosper in. And Prosper, he'll jump straight in onto the Invoker and take him out. Now Kawaii, he's copping a lot of damage, but that being said, Prosper's copped a lot himself. And they'll get a kill onto the Bloodseeker now as well. This is looking really bad. They have to buy back onto Tim. And they're trying their best to defend. Minxie, he's attacking onto the Abaddon, which is the worst target to attack. And now Visual, he's there. He cops a Dagon. Now the laser bouncing around. Royal Cheese, he's copped a lot of damage. He's going to die, I think. No, he's okay for the time being. And the Rupture wears off. He'll blink out of there. They take out Brian on the Tinker. And they might even try to force him to buy back. Now Visual, he's trying to manfight Kawaii on the Timbersaw. And there's the buyback from the Tinker. Age is gone onto Visual. The gem, it's lost on the Abaddon. And the silence comes out onto Timbersaw. He's trying to go up onto him. In fact, that is a Bloodthorn, so the crits are doing a lot more damage. And Visual, he's just not dealing enough damage to take out this Timber, so he'll back off. Tim, he's been caught out by Royale. And all his mana was lost. But that being said, Tinker's TPing in. And Brian will be the savior of the day. Oh, but wait a minute. He might have sacrificed himself. Visual, he's coming in. He's going to try and find him, Brian. He's got to be fast with the TP. No, they'll go straight onto Tim. And Tim, I don't think he has a chance here. And he'll get taken out. And meanwhile, Kawaii, he's trying to push this bot lane, but it's a Timbersaw trying to push a tower, and it doesn't work out that fast. And there will inevitably be a TP. In fact, it's from Royale. And he'll have that Abyssal available. But no, there's a Shiver's Guard coming out, and Tinker did TP in. And he's going to start helping out Timber pushing at this lane. They're both not the best pushers, though, in terms of structures. Oh, but Visual, he wants to get a gank onto this Tinker. And there's Royale with cheese. Then they'll get the kill. There's no buyback available. In fact, it's a dieback onto Brian on the Tinker. And Kawaii, he's going to be so careful. What a dodge from Royale. What a blink dodge. And now he used the Abyssal with the crit. With the Bloodthorn, I should say. And they'll get the kill. 4 heroes down. On the way of the Dire. I mean, that's a beautiful blink dodge. Because if he didn't dodge that with the Whirling Death and the Chain, that would have meant the kill onto the AM. But he dodged it at the best time. And I'm not sure if that was luck or reaction, but it definitely looked like a reaction there. And it was just beautiful to watch. They should know, at the very least, Tinker doesn't have a buyback. So this should be a definite Rax for the Radiant side. We'll bring up the net worth and look at this. It's evened out. Almost, just about. Minxie, he'll find Vaping. And like I've told Minxie before, this is the hardest target to go for. Royale, he'll come in. Look at the mana drain. He'll still be able to Shadow Dance. Now the ultimate used by Vaping. And they're going to keep chasing. They might be able to go for the kill. Vaping, he's going to back off. He's by himself now. And they're going to turn around and go for this tower. But that being said, the EMP and the Deafening Blast used. A lot of mana being drained. Minxie, he does take out Vaping in the back lines. But all his mana's been lost from the mana leak. And they're pinging him out saying, let's go, let's go, let's go. And Visual, he'll jump on with the Bloodthorn. And I think Minxie's dead here. And he has no buyback available. And the Tim, he's shit-talking his own teammate. And there's the Cold Snap, and he's actually Cold Snapped himself because of the Aghanim Scepter. Now Invoker, he'll get taken out. And oh, this looks really bad for the Dire. Prosper, he's going to back off out of that silence. And they can go for another axe here. This is a big deal for the Radiant right now. They've really turned this around. Royale with cheese, he senses it. They're going to go on to Kawaii. He's got a Blade Mail though. They're dealing damage to themselves. Now the Lotus Orb used. And they're going to keep going. Prosper, he's man fighting as hard as he can. It's hard though. And Tim, he actually takes out the AM. This reactive armor doing so much for this freaking Kawaii. And now the Shrine used. And Prosper, he gets taken out by Brian who respawned. My goodness. I thought to myself, there's no way they can't get 2 racks here, but they actually lose a team fight. Visual, he makes a massive jump. He'll find the Tinker and look at the jump damage and he'll get the kill. That's a big, big kill from Visual. That is a big kill. Because again, he stops the push from the Tinker. In fact, there's no buyback anyway on the Tinker, so that's just massive. Invoker actually DCs as well. And as per usual with games from illegaomonkeybutt, they go over an hour every single time. Actually, Visual, he's jumped on to Tim again, and Tim, he's copping a lot of damage here. That Bloodthorn does so much for them. And Tim, he throws a Rupture Trap, but there's the Lincoln's paying off. And Senor Cheesy Cake, he used the Blinding Light. Now there's no mana left onto the Timbersaw. Now he's been silenced up. I think he's dead 100% here. Lotus Orb used though, and he's healing up the mana. The Chain's used, and it's so hard to kill a Timbersaw with that reactive armor. And now there's a Yules onto him. And oh, the stun. The mana leak stun onto the Chain, and he cancels the Chain, and that's a good kill. Visual's wicked sick now. And I was saying, as usual, illegaomonkeybutt, aka Visual. This man refuses to send a game that's under an hour. And I love it. I absolutely love it. These games are so freaking exciting. TP in. I'm not sure who it is. It's actually Royale. He's picked up Boots of Travel level 2, in fact. And that's what you want from an AM. This late into the game where gold's just, raining on top of you. You just want to be able to get a Boots of Travel at the very least and just TP all around the map. He's got 9k in the bank. He doesn't know what to do anymore. I mean, it's one of those things. With the Battle Fury, you ask yourself, do I get rid of it? Because the Battle Fury allows you to push so fast on those creeps. It offers good damage. It offers good regen. The stats aren't too bad either. But are there better items? Answer is yes. But the question is, what are they? And you've only got a couple. I mean, really on an AM, I think worst case scenario, you go for a Divine Rapier if the game goes that long, if you're struggling. At the moment, the way the AM's set out, he's perfectly fine the way he is. He can stay there the whole game and he'll be fine. Minxie, he's going to be in trouble though. He finds himself a visual and a vaping. And he probably doesn't recognize that he's a bit behind at the moment. In fact, he's third last on the net worth graph. He's 24k behind the AM. He's 9k net worth behind Visual. Brian, he starts throwing out the marches from the lower ground in the trees. Trying to negate the shrine. Shrine going down, but not going to make a difference. And now, they might go for another push attempt. Prosper, he'll be in the front lines. No, in fact, it'll be Royale. Vaping's there as well as Visual. The only man that isn't... No, he is there actually. Senor Cheesy Cake. I thought he was missing. The Cyclone does come out. EMP as well. They're going to go straight into Prosper. Prosper's lost a lot of mana, but he'll be okay for the time being. He's very tanky. And look at Visual and Royale. They jump straight onto Tim. That being said, they've got to take out this Tinker. Tinker's the main problem. They do take out the Bloodseeker, and Minxie's still down. There's no buyback available. And Visual, he's actually surviving through this. Kawaii, he's trying to find the kill. Vaping, he's got to be careful. He's low HP himself, but he's got the ultimate available. There's the buyback onto the Bloodseeker. And now there's a full HP Vaping there now because he runs through the Chaos Meteor with the ultimate. And nobody's died on the Radiant yet, and they're going to back off though because Visual, he's running out of mana. PA's run out of mana. And it's just, they've got to reset and go back in. Oh, but that being said, I think Timber, he's overextended his welcome here. And the Bloodthorn, my goodness, that's a lot of damage. And Invoker, he's got to be careful. He might get taken out if there's no mana leak though. There it is, but the Lincoln's is broken. Kawaii's already calling GG. Cyclone, it comes out, and the EMP, but it's a bit too far away, I think. No, it won't hit anyone. And these March, they have to get through the March to be able to get the tower. And Visual's so close to getting Tinker, but not close enough. Close but no cigar, as the Australians would say it. And they go on to AM. There's the Deafening Blast and the Rupture. This is looking really bad for AM. He blinks out, but he's not going to be able to run too far with that pure damage Rupture. And Minxie, he's chasing him, but he's dealing no damage pretty much. And now Tim's there, and they're trying to deal the damage. In fact, Visual in the backlines, he took out Invoker, but where is he actually? Where the hell's Visual? Visual, he's actually TP'd back because he was too low HP. Now Vaping, he'll get taken out. And yep, no, 100% he'll get taken out. And the only people that survive was Senor Cheesy Cake and Visual on the Storm Spirit. And the only person they really took out was the Invoker, who I think did buy back. In fact, we'll have a quick look. Yeah, he did. And they took out the Timbersaw, who has no buyback available. So 3 buybacks are unavailable. In fact, I think Tinker has no buyback. We'll bring up the buyback status. No, he does. But there is Minxie has no gold, and the other 3 are on a timer. 5 minutes, 5 to 6 minutes, in fact. And we'll keep the buyback actually, because that's more important this time of the game. I've Scotty nowhere near on Minxie. He's died too many times recently. You can see the Evoker. He does have the Aghanim's. He does have the Lincolns. Look at Visual. Look at the positioning. He's ready to jump in from the back. He wants to go straight onto Tinker or an Evoker. Now Tinker shows himself, and I think Visual, he's thinking about it. Brian, he starts throwing out the marches. Now this is what you want to do. You jump straight on the Invoker and you jump straight onto the Tinker. Ignore the Slark. Don't worry about him. He's not important. They'll jump straight onto Invoker. That's the plan. The Bloodthorn's out. But that being said, Brian's in the back lines and he's dealing all those lasers out. But he's backing off now. He's a bit scared, I think. Royaho tries to find him, but the blink's out. Kawaii, he's stuck there. He's going on to Senor Cheesy Cake. And Invoker is still down. No buyback available. Tim, he'll run out. Forced to use the BKB. Royale with Cheese. He's going to find Kawaii. He's going to go after him. Storm, he's blinking in, trying to find someone. That being said, Brian, he's TP'd back. And AM, he's going to have to blink out himself. And I think they want to fight on the high ground now. Actually, Prosper, he's jumped in. He's looking for Brian. And he's been, oh no, he's been stunned up now. And I think he might go down here. In fact, he will. He was only 1 hit away, but the Ghost Scepter stopped it. He does have a buyback available. But that's not what you want to use at this time of the game. You don't want them to force a buyback out. Blinding Light comes out from the Keeper of the Light. Kawaii, He's getting silent slapped, and there's the Bloodthorn, and I think he has no chance here. Look at Royale. Look at the damage he deals. And that's it. He's gone. And look at this. I didn't notice, but we've got Vaping. He's picked up the Aghanims. Now, I don't remember exactly what it does, but I believe when it's activated, all the damage that the allied heroes take, they give it to you instead of them taking it. In fact, that is the case. How much percent is that? 50% of the damage will go back to this Abaddon while that ultimate is active. So for basically 6 seconds, is it 6 seconds? We'll have a quick look. 6 seconds, yes. 6 seconds, 50% damage taken. That's what it means for your whole team that's around you. That's a big deal. Royale, he'll be taking out the Roshan, but he's found by Minxie, and this isn't good. But Visual, he'll come save the day. The TP in from Tinker though, and he'll have to back out. And this should mean a Roshan for the Dire instead. And yeah, 100% will. I don't think they won't contest here. Yeah, no, they won't contest whatsoever. They're thinking about it though. You can see the positioning here means he wants to make a jump for that Aegis. And if he can predict it, and he will! He will get it! Oh my goodness! What a predict! Oh, and he puts the question mark down! Oh, this man's my hero. Oh my. You know, sometimes you're left wordless, and Minxie, I don't know what you're doing, mate, but you're out too far. You've just lost an Aegis. And they're going to go for a kill onto him, and they will get it. And, did he get the cheese as well? Actually, he goes for there's a Abaddon in the middle of everything, and Bloodseeker, he's in trouble now. Abaddon, he'll just keep tanking, and the ultimate's available. Like I said, Visual, he's there. There's a stun up onto the Bloodseeker because of the mana leak, and Prosper, he'll take care of business. Now Invoker, he's by himself, but he'll be able to Ghost Walk away anyway. I don't think they have a gem available. No, they don't. And Visual, he's still looking for someone. He'll probably see Kawaii there. And Vaping is available. Prosper is there as well. Where's our AM? AM's in the mid, starting to push. No, that's Visual. AM's actually dead, my apologies. Because of that Roshan attempt. Oh, Visual, he's in trouble. He's got no mana. But luckily, he has an Aegis that he stole. And I hear something being bought, but I'm not sure what it is. It's Coddle, and he's spamming wards, apparently. And Visual, he'll be okay. How many wards did... why did he buy 21 Sentry wards? Senor Cheesy Cake is being a bit of a cheeky cake, I tell ya. I'm not sure if this is some kind of quest he has or something. Oh, the Abyssal Blade misses. The mana leak's still there though. Do they realize he's there? Now they will. And there's a TP from the Bloodseeker. I'm sorry, not the Bloodseeker, the Tinker. And now the Vortex from Visual. And the Mana Void for good measure. See you later. Meanwhile, top lane. Looks like Vaping. He's in a bit of trouble here. And Phantom Assassin, I think he might get him taken down. The Hex is available. And he's trying to tank through this. He's so tanky, but I think he will get taken down. The Cyclone there from Invoker and the Sunstrike. And he does get taken down. But Visual, he's here now. Invoker and Tinker, they'll get taken down. Nobody has buyback as well. And the only mana left is Minxie, who still doesn't have an Eye of Skadi. And he'll get killed up, I think. He hasn't used the Dark Pact. He's silenced up with the Bloodthorn. Look at the damage. And now there's 2 buybacks available. They just came available. Bloodseeker and Tinker. And I'm pretty sure the Radiant have won this game. I'm pretty sure. Like I always say, I don't check results. So I don't know 100%. Because I like to keep it interesting. I just wanted to quickly check. Royale with Cheese, he did go for the minus 50-second Mana Void, and I was about to say that's a smart man. You've got so many people that you can Mana Void that have massive mana pools. And to think you can do that like every 10, 20 seconds? It's 20 seconds now. Every 20 seconds there's a Mana Void. He can deal 3k damage to a Timbersaw. And the game, I think, is over. There might be one last fight. No, they're not even trying. Well, there's no buybacks available. Tim, he's given up completely. Oh, in Visual, he jumps into the fountain. They're going to go for the fountain dives. And Kawaii, he'll be the next one to go down, I think. No, Visual will get taken out. And Vaping. Now use the ultimate. Kawaii. Get stunned up. Now the blinding light. That being said, oh, no, never mind. GG well played, ladies and gentlemen. GG well played. Guys, if you did enjoy, like I always say, just criticize the hell out of me. I know you guys are already doing it, which I really, really appreciate. The feedback recently was great. If anyone new's watching or anything like that hasn't already subscribed or followed me on Twitter or checked out the Twitch channel, maybe check them out. They're all in the description. I'm casting Echo League. I probably will be trying to cast some of the qualifiers for the Kiev Major, assuming that my work allows me to, like my work-life balance allows it. I mean, I probably just won't sleep and we'll just cast it. So yeah, if you guys want to know when I'm doing those, follow me on Twitter or follow me on Twitch. Those are the best ways. But Twitter, I'll let you guys know like an hour beforehand that it's going to happen. But yeah, if you guys want to, watch me do those live, I'm probably going to be trying to follow Team Veggie or another one of the big teams that have to go through the qualifiers. Anyway, I'm going to stop rambling on. You guys have a great day. It's been Mike LaPhoenix. Until next time, you have a good one. Thank you.